Hello folks, welcome to Lester's Custom Truck Shop. Got a Striker 497 on the bench today. Going to be doing the less calm enhancements and getting it ready to ship out. Yes, 497s are back in stock for a limited time. Also have 447s in stock. All right. Doing the preliminary checkout. Make sure there's no problems with the radio before I go in and touch anything. I like Striker radios. These are really nice radios. Hello test, test 1 2 1 2 test. All kinds of output power. Switch that to times 2. Test 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Audio testing, testing audio. That's on 28075. Turn that Roger beep off. Looks like I need to touch the frequency up just a tiny bit. Test 1 2 1 2 test. Audio testing, testing 1 2 1 2 test. Right, now let's turn the power all the way down. Audio testing, testing audio. Audio 1 2 1 2 test, test audio. Audio 1 2. That's really good. It's 20 watts out with power turned all the way down. Okay. All right, more to come. Okay, coffee just finished, so had to go get me a cup. Okay, that's what the inside of one looks like. I'm going to pause you for a minute and adjust the camera so you get more of the view of the radio, what I'm doing in there. I've noticed that part of it's cut off because the camera's tilted down a little too far. Hang on a second. Yeah, that should be better. Looks like that crystal just about fell out before it soldered. So I'll be fixing that. We're going to replace these two buffer caps. They're 3300s now. I'm either going to put 6800s in there or 4700s in there, depending on. I haven't put any 6800s in there yet, so I'm going to try and see if I can get them to fit. But you can see I'm pretty close to a connector on this side and pretty close to the standoffs on this side. Actually, that's jumpers, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to see if they'll fit in there. If they'll fit in there, we're going to go with 6800s. But if they won't, I'll go with 4700s to upgrade those. And of course, the one for the voltage regulator, that one's going to get replaced with a large one. So 1000 now, I'm going to try to put a 3300 in there. I'll have to put it on a standoff and get it raised up. They got the fan on here actually cooling the transformer underneath there, which I thought was pretty smart. And this is a 4 MOSFET amplifier section. A fairly large chunk of aluminum there on the back, and then we've got the heat sink hanging off the back of it too, plus the fan cooling the transformer. So, transformer. Pretty neat setup. Okay. Well, let's get started. I'm going to fix this first. penetration for some reason. Maybe I need to turn the heat up. You know me, I don't like to turn the heat up more than what I absolutely have to. I can't get my finger in there on it. Not doing what I want it to do. Could be because I'm trying to unsolder the wrong thing. Let's try this again. And unsolder the right thing this time. It's loose. I see both leads moving. There we go. Okay. Yeah, then. That's better. Okay. Adding fresh solder to these joints make it easier to get good penetration all the way through the board to unsolder them. So that's why you see me doing that. This guy here, I'll heat up all 3 points where it progresses through the board as I take it out from the other side. That's the filter, the 10.7 IF crystal filter that we're going to take out and replace with a tighter filter. It makes it a lot easier to get it out. Let's see, it doesn't tell me what the bandwidth is on this one. But we're replacing it with a 7.5 kilohertz bandwidth. What that does is cut down on bleed over. This is an AM FM only radio, and that filter only affects AM and FM. Now if this was a sideband radio, that filter wouldn't have anything to do with bleed over, because the sideband filter is totally separate from that one. And the sideband filter is usually a lot tighter than the AM filters anyway. We're talking about a 4, 6, or 8 pole filter in the sideband can, whereas that, a single crystal, is just a 2-pole filter. Now if it had the dual crystal filter in it, it would be a 4-pole filter. I didn't let that sit on there long enough. You have to be real careful when you're doing this. If you screw up the board, not that easy to fix it. Of course, I've never had to throw a radio away because I screwed up a PC board. Knock on wood. Okay, turn it loose. Must have glue on it. So I see the leads moving. Yep. Clear glue. This one's got clear glue around it too. Usually it's white. Yeah. I just have to pull it out the same way. Must have got glue all around this hole. It doesn't want to pull air through the hole to get the solder out. See, I see the leads wiggling when I move it, so I know that it's unsoldered all the way through the board. So I just have to pull it loose from that glue. And there's still glue on the board because it didn't come off with a capacitor there. Yep. most of it. Alright, I'm going to get a couple of 6800s, but I don't think the leads are going to go through the board. Doesn't look like the holes are big enough. So we're probably going to be stuck with 47s. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah, went through that way. Might be just a little burr of solder or something in the hole. Now I got the glue out of the way, I might be able to clean the hole out a little better. Let's try that. Yay, look at there. Well, I'd be doggone. This side's going to work. It just pushed you through from the other side. There we go. Now we got to look for clearance on all sides. Okay, that'll work. If I leave it standing up like that, I can put some spacers underneath it. And we'll have 6800s in there, which would be great for this little amplifier. Yeah. sure it's still straight. Okay. See, we got a 6800 in there. I don't know if you can, let's see, rotate that around here where you can read it. Okay, now I'm getting ready to do the other side. And with those standoffs on there, it won't pose a problem. I'm trying to see what you can see. You can't see nothing because it's dark back there. But standoffs underneath there. And of course, with a radio, it mounts like this, so that part's hanging down. Now let's see if I can't put one on the other side. Probably gonna need to put standoffs in it too. I'll go ahead and put them on there now. Too long. Need to trim it just a little bit. And this is wire strippers that I'm using to cut these little standoffs with. Sorry, I'm having to maneuver it around. Got them both in there. How about that? With the standoffs, of course. You see that? Hopefully. Probably not. Make sure I got it oriented correctly. Yes. Have you noticed, I don't know if you have or not, but the way Stryker does their radios, all of the negative side of the electrolytic capacitors are facing one way. So negative comes to this side, positive goes to that side, but it's that way throughout the board. If you look, you can see the negative indicators on all the capacitors pointing that way. It sure does make it easy when you're replacing things like that. I'm saying it's a well thought out board. Make sure I got good penetration all the way through the board with the solder. Alright, next thing I want to do is make sure we don't have any shorts. This is negative. This is the positive side. Now it did that initially because the capacitor was discharged. Now that the capacitor is charging up, it's not doing that. It's charging up off the supply voltage that the meter uses to measure. Now when I switch the lead, you see I get a tone again. That's that 6800 microfarad capacitor discharging and charging. And as soon as it builds up a charge to get past zero, then it stops. It's going to be the same thing on this side. And this ground. That looks good. Wait for it to charge up. Okay, we're good. Now then, let's get a new filter in there. We're going to put a single 7.5 kilohertz filter in there. It's an NDK. Like I said, the primary reason for doing this is bleed over. Might have to clean out that last hole again. Oh, there we go. Okay. GWCOM. That's what it says on the PC board there. I also like the fact that below every inductor back here, all this chain, there's a hole underneath it. Okay, and the reason that they do that is in case you adjust the slug down too far and it doesn't catch the threads when you go to adjust it back up, you can come to the bottom and push it against the threads and get it to go back up. Well thought out design. Now we got this one here to replace. Make sure that I'm replacing the right one. always a good idea to double check. Yeah. We'll need some more heat for that. Let my arm warm up a little bit. And like I told you before, I try to keep the heat setting on the iron. I've got a variable control for heat. Try to keep it set as low as possible to do what you need to do. That way you don't destroy the glue underneath the copper. Let's see if I broke it loose. See this side moving, but the ground sides are not moving. So, oh yes it is. Must be that damn glue again. Yep. Give it up. Damn, boy, some tough stuff. I don't want to get it under the new capacitor. Crap. Yeah, crap. Just had a power outage. Okay, well, I think we got power back. I took out one of my scanners though, so I'll have to figure out what the issue is with that. Okay, let's see if we can't put a 3300 in that one. Our electric company is usually pretty good. They got the power back on fairly quick after I call the number. And all of our electrical service is underground. I'm going to have to put standoffs on this. So, you know, we usually don't have a problem with breakage or anything like that because it's protected. I have my server and my little computer here at the bench set up so that when there's a power failure, they don't try to come back on, because a lot of times it'll come back on, go back off, come back on, go back off. So just got them set up to where they don't boot back up, and I have to go back and do it manually. But that's better than having to replace a bunch of equipment. At least I already had my coffee made. I need to turn that up a little bit. Okay. That should have been the last piece of the puzzle. And like I said, this thing sits where these will be hanging down, so there's no problem there. All right. Let me go do my tune-up, and I'll be back. Okay, all done. Let's see, switch back to AM. Set it up on 27205. Now here you can get a better view now of what I've done to the inside of it. There's the voltage regulator buffer filter, the new one. It's a 3300 microfarad. We replaced a 1000 with it. This one is a 6800 microfarad that replaced the 3300. So we more than doubled that one. Same thing with the one on the other side. Okay. What this does is keep the voltage up for the MOSFETs back there when they're making power. When you say audio and you get that big strong syllable in there, it really pulls down the DC power. And what these guys do is kind of fill up that gap. When the voltage drops down, they discharge and try to keep the voltage up. Okay, and that helps a lot on your modulation. And there's the new tighter filter. This is a 7.5 kilohertz filter. I believe the one that comes in the radio is either a 9 or a 10 kilohertz wide. So that's going to help with your bleed over. All right, let's get you set up over here so that you can see what I did with the power. Hang on just a second. Okay. Now then, I got 100 watt slugs in both sides. Okay. So we're reading on the bottom scale on both sides. Okay. And before, I was trying to read on that top scale there, and I was reading it wrong. It was at 15, or a little bit below 15. So we were right around 100 watts. Okay, there's, see that line right? Yeah, you can't see it from my big finger. There's a line right there in between the 10 and 15. That's 100 watts. All right, we were in between that line and the 15. So I'd say right around 105, 110. And after I did the tune-up, we're closer to 100 to the 15, which would be 120 watts. Okay, on, yeah, channel 20, AM. Got RF power turned all the way up. I'm using a stock microphone, that little Euro CB microphone you see me use all the time. Hello, audio, audio, hello. Hello, audio, audio 1, 2. These things, they come pretty well tuned up. I was able to adjust it out just a little bit more. But the receivers on these things are great. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, hello. Audio, test, test, audio. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See how well it holds the power up as you're talking into the microphone? Okay, now I'm going to turn RF power all the way down. I was able to adjust that down to 2 watts. See that meter there on the left? That first little notch, first little line there is 2 watts. Hello, audio, audio 1, 2. Audio, 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 audio. You still get plenty of forward swing down at 2 watts. So basically what I'm telling you, you can run just about any amplifier behind this that you want to. You just have to be careful when you set your RF power. Don't throw the full 30 watts into a Texas Star, because you won't have a Texas Star after that. Okay. Now on FM, I set FM up the same way. Get 30 watts out, okay, at full power, and we can turn it all the way down to 2 watts. Okay. Now you can turn FM up higher than that, but boy, it puts a big strain on the PA section of the radio, so I don't recommend it. Right now I've got it turned down as far as it'll go on FM, and that's still 30 watts. Okay, but at 30 watts we're pulling, what is that? Looks like we're pulling about 12 amps. No, that ain't right. Okay, that's 20, so that's 10. Yeah, we're pulling about 10 amps right there. Hello, audio, audio 1, 2. Of course, now you're not going to see anything on the peak meter because we're on FM. Okay, back to AM. Hello, audio, audio 1, 2, 1, 2, audio. So it's working really well. Let me show you the receiver. Got the signal generator set for an S9 signal, and as you can see, we've got every bit of it. I actually had to adjust the meter down just a tad, but 30% modulation, you know, 100 microvolts, S9. All right. Yeah, let me get the covers back on it and we'll finish up. Okay, one other little item that I wanted to point out. In case you ever go in and replace this fan, something to watch out for is the connector for the audio and the connector for the fan are the same. Okay? Just remember that the fan connector is closest towards the voltage regulator. All right? And the speaker connector is closer towards the rear of the radio. And you're going to have to unplug the speaker and remove the bottom cover, and then you take the screws out, remove that for the fan. So both of these connectors are going to be sitting there open. So just pay close attention. The power connector for the fan is closest towards the voltage regulator, the AM voltage regulator, and the one for the speaker is closer to the rear of the radio. Okay. Okay, Nicholas in Oregon. This is your striker, SR497HPC. I think you're really going to like it. See if I can't get it centered up in the camera here. Sorry if I make y'all sick. Seasick. But there it is. And like I said, it's a really nice looking radio. I really like the striker radios. You can change the color by pushing this button over here. Okay. These are all the different colors that are available. I personally like the green, but that's good too. You can change that to whatever color you want when you get it. Okay? All right. Well, Nicholas, I sure hope you enjoy your new radio. It was my pleasure to set it up for you. 7-3, everybody. Stay safe.